Honkai Star Rail is like Apple. They create a problem and then sell you the solution. Now, I know many people could say that gacha is basically that, but we have examples. We have Genshin Impact, we have Arknights, we have FGO. FGO has probably the worst gacha in existence as of now. But still, the content is not catered around to the newest banner character. Those challenge quests, those 90 plus and 90 plus plus nodes for farming are not catered to the banner character. They are designed in such a way that other characters, previous characters, past characters can even do that. But Star Rail doesn't. Star Rail creates a problem and then sells you the solution. So they're like Apple. The new Memory of Chaos just dropped, and it's been doing rounds online. It's like one of the most hated Memory of Chaoses right now. Now I know there are a certain batch of people who enjoy difficult combat, and I do not mean anything negative to them. Like, if you enjoy that, it's good for you, it's amazing, and I am really happy that you are enjoying the game. But as a casual player, I mean, not a casual player, as a semi-casual or something like that. I mean, I don't hyper invest in relics and such, but I do build my characters well, and I try to get at least an above decent build for all of my characters. So yeah, I'm somewhere between hardcore and casual, like somewhere in between that. So I've been playing Star Rail day one, and majority of the memory chaoses, I've been like, okay, I can do this. I probably could be able to do it, but I'm not going to go full on it and this and that. This Memory of Chaos is a pure character check. Now, this might be a hot take, this might not be a hot take, but if people did not pull the Herta, if people did not pull Tribi, if people did not pull Mighty, or let's say you're like me and you pulled for the Herta but you lost the 50-50, or you pulled for Tribi but you lost the 50-50 again. Case in point, me, because I did lose the 50-50s again. So you're screwed. The first half, the Flame Reaver, now in the story, the Flame Reaver, it does not have that ginormous amount of HP, and even then the fight is more tailor-made to so blast units and Aglaya and Firefly. These characters can defeat the Flame Reaver because their ads aren't that spongy in nature. Flame Reaver himself is spongy, but the summons that he makes aren't spongy, so it creates a nice form of difficulty. Come to the Memory of Chaos, where this dumbass has a 60% damage reduction, and those summons are also spongy as well, and those summons have a huge amount of toughness. So even your Firefly team can't do enough over there. Flame Reaver, you need Tribi or you need the Herta. If you have the Herta and Tribi, and if you can't clear it, then there's something majorly wrong with your account. But for people who do not have Tribi or the Herta, it's hell. It's absolute hell. You could probably hyper invest, you could probably think, you can probably min-max, you can probably do those 200 attempts to try to get that first round in 4 or 5 cycles. But it's just difficult and it's annoying. And even players who are in between the hardcore and casual stage might also find it annoying. But okay. Usually when the first half is rough or the second half is rough, the other side is generally on the easier side. That's been the trend for everything in Star Rail as of from day one. So if the first side was difficult, the second side was comparatively easy. You could probably do it in 1 or 2 cycles or 3 or 4 cycles, something like that, to give you breathing space. Come to the second phase of this Memory Chaos, where you have the new amphibious enemies, the I'm gonna call that lion type creature Solangio or something like that. I mean that Pokemon from Pokemon Sun, and then you have that bird from Pokemon Moon. These two characters, these two enemies, have massive amounts of HP, and I mean massive. And let's forget the HP, they have massive amounts of toughness bar as well. A proper E0 Firefly team in her best team. Mind you, in her best team with an E6 Galagar, a Fugue, or a Harmony Trailblazer, Ron May. It takes an average of 6 to 7 cycles to clear it. Now if you have invested, like if you've invested in your Firefly, then probably those cycle counts could decrease. But still, best in slot F2P team, like if you've just focused on the break meta and you've been F2P, so you can only get 1 copy of each. So if you have that, it takes roughly 7 cycles. So if you do 7 cycles of the second half, you need 3 cycles on the first half. But if you do not have the hurt or tribute, that's next to impossible. What are you doing, Star Rail? What is this? I mean, look at Genshin. Genshin recently had a spiral. Like recently, they've been given floor 12s, these banner exclusive buffs. Like they're very specific. Like Arlecchino had pyro damage normal attack bonus. I mean, like just increase the pyro damage so every pyro character can be applicable. But no, it's normal attack pyro damage. So like only Yoimi or Arlecchino can work there. Or if you play normal attack Hu Tao. And then you had the Farina buff where hydro skill damage gets a 80% or 70% buff, and I was like, the stupidest thing ever. It's like just buff the elemental damage, just do it like hydro damage 80% or hydro damage 70%, and that will be much more friendly. But still even after those buffs, the Spiral Abyss isn't that difficult. If I play Spiral Abyss with C0 characters, C0, R0, some of them have R1s, but it's mostly a C0 character because I like to invest horizontally. I do not like vertical investment. So over there, I have a majority of characters. I have many variations that I can create with my teams, but all of them are C0. But still, it's clearable. You just need to think it out a bit. You need to think out of the box. Like, if Garming isn't working in your overload team, switch him up to something else. Or if, Emily isn't working in your burning team and you need someone for your Nilubloom team, switch Emily to Nilubloom. It just works. Thinking out of the box, and it works over there. For some stages, it just works. In Star Rail, nothing works. You're restricted by the combat, which is a gameplay aspect of Star Rail that I'm not going to, criticize, because that's the game. Turn-based game is a game. But still, when the enemies are just damaged sponges, how do you expect somebody to clear that? And mind you, we don't have 4-star substitutes. Like, let's say in Genshin, we have 4-star substitutes. Like, if you do not have a good 5-star buffer, let's say Farina or Xianyun for plunge or Zhongli for the shield or something like that, you do have 4-star alternatives. You have Layla, you have Bennett, you have Ian-san, newly released obviously, but still you have Ian-san. If you do not have Kazuha, you have Sucrose, you have Lan Yin right now. So there are majority of 4-star characters that you can fit into your team and play with them. Yeah, they won't do 20k damage, but they might do 15k damage or 10k damage, and that's good enough. In Star Rail, you don't have 4 stars. The last 4-star was Modze, and let's be honest, you only use him in face out teams and follow-up teams, and follow-up isn't being shilled right now, so yeah, Modze sucks. I would just like new 4 stars or somebody to help the players who do not have the 5 stars. And even the latest patch 3.2 is getting 2 5 stars, no 4 star. 3.3 is getting 2 5 stars, no 4 stars in sight. The leaks for 3.4 is shipping up to be 2 5 stars again and no 4 star in sight. So what the hell am I supposed to do if you do not give me 4 stars? If every 5 star is locked behind the limited banners, like they're not even getting added to the standard banner. I think at this point Genshin already introduced Tainari in the standard banner, a Dendro character in the standard banner. They could have been completely limited. Tainari is a really good DPS character, really good Dendro character. Genshin could have made Dendro completely limited, but they didn't. They included a Dendro character into the standard banner. And I don't know why Geode isn't getting an introduction yet, but still, we got something. The new element got introduced into the standard banner. Remembrance should have been that. Aglaya should have been added to the standard banner. Aglaya or some remembrance character. And add to the fact that light cones, because not everybody has an S5 dance, and certainly not 3 to 4 copies of S5 dance, or swordplay or other meta light cones and such. it's rough. It's rough. It's rough for people who do not have the Herta, for people who do not have Tribi, for people who do not have Mighty. You're screwed. And looking at the future, like, what I'm assuming, what I'm guessing, Casterus comes out. This Memory of Chaos is completely made for the Herta teams or Casterus in general. It screams Casterus because of the quantum weakness. And after that, we have probably an Apocalyptic Shadow reset that will be focused on Anaxa. I can 100% guarantee you it will be on Anaxa. And then Pure Fiction will be focused on Hyacine and Casterus, because Hyacine is touted to be the best in support for Casterus, something like that. But still, this is the way Star Rail is going, and it's not it. It's not it. I like the game. I enjoy the game. I enjoy doing my 5-minute daily session, farming relics, farming materials, then switching off the game. And there's not much events as well, so yep, it's just a 5-minute daily session. I enjoy that. It's fun, but it's not it. It's just not it. I mean, I'm not gonna quit the game. I'm not like those people, like, who have to announce everything that I am quitting Star Rail because of this and that. No. If I don't like it, I'll put a post or something like that. But that's it. But I'll be playing until Saber comes out. But after that, like, if this is the way that it moves forward, I mean, I think the way forward is probably just ignoring the end game now. Like what I do in Wuthering Waves, where if I get 21 stars in the Tower of Adversity, and if I get 50% of the currency in what's it called, Whimpering Waste or whatever, I'm happy with it. So I think in the future I should set my expectations low for Star Rail, and it's the only way to enjoy the game. I think that's it, because granting your brain for a measly 80 jades or 160 jades, it's not fun. So yeah, that's it. I mean, I don't know what else to say. That's it. It's over. It's over for Star Rail. But yeah, that's it. Bye bye.